desolate tree. You know, all the life is being sucked from it. It looks like it's in winter. There's no leaves. There's no rejuvenation. There's no love. There's no care. There's no life. And that's reflected in markers. Hey guys, welcome back to a new video on the channel. My name's Shockfern. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down the Gears of War 2 trailer. The last day. I think this is the popular one out of the bunch. On a bit of a Gears of War rampage. We did Reloaded. You can check it out up there. And we just did the Gears of War E-Day trailer twice. I absolutely love this franchise, so we're going to break it down. Number 2, the best game in the series in my opinion. So if you're new here, how this is going to work, I'm going to react to it for the first time, even though I've seen it. I haven't seen it for like 15 years. I haven't seen this trailer in forever. So react to it, then go back through it and break it down from a filmmaker's point of view. Why have they gone with a certain shot, cinematic language, what's the director really trying to tell us through their cinematic choices. And before we jump into this, I am going to be live streaming the Xbox June Showcase on the 7th of June. So make sure to mark your calendars if you want to see me break down these trailers live. Ask me any questions. This is going to be the first ever live stream of the channel. And at the end of this, we're going to give it a rating. Is it absolute cinema or is it absolute trash? So without further ado, I'm going to shut my mouth. I'm going to watch this absolute cinematic masterpiece. I remember this like it was yesterday, man. I watched this with my dad. Oh, Dom with his Maria. Oh, I'm already crying, man. Why am I crying so early into it? It's so heavy and powerful. It really is. Of course, the grind lifts. Of course, pulling him up like an E-Day. Fucking masterpiece. See you later, Marcus. Oh, it's amazing. It reminds me of the Minecraft. It's got that Minecraft vibe to it, the song. Beautifully lit. Gears of War 2. And of course, the absolute best days of Xbox 360. Now, shut my mouth, let's break it down. It is a pretty short, it's only a minute long, but it's so fucking powerful. Yeah, like I said, the soundtrack straight away, it reminds me of Minecraft a little bit. It works because it's so emotional. That's what Minecraft, the original, I'm talking about the original trailer when it first launched. It sounds like the Minecraft trailer, but it works because both of those tracks are emotional, and that's what this game is. It's about a game of I don't know, what's the word? The first one was like about redemption. Third one's about survival. What's this one about? It's like, I don't know. It's like it's love or something, you know. Obviously, you know, we learn about Marcus's dad a little bit, Maria, you know, in Ty, Carmine, all of these G's who don't make it out. But yeah, right, let's shut my mouth. Let's go into it. First things first, establishing shots. Now this is playing by the rule book. Nice wide angles. Obviously this was, when the fucking hell was this? 17 years ago, holy shit. So this was made 17 years ago. And it, you know, the quality isn't the best, but it still applies. The cinematic rules still apply. Even though there isn't any motion, like the camera's moving in this, we have a pan down. It's, I keep getting confused between tilt and pan. It's either panning down or tilting down, one of the two. It's coming down to reveal, it looks like a dove. What is that? That's some sort of bird. Is that a raven? That could be, that was like a bird of prey. So symbolically, right, off the bat, we've got an establishing shot coming down on Marcus. And the frame is empty. There is nothing going on in this frame. The only thing we've got in this frame, obviously removing this stupid little graphic, is we've got a tree, a desolate tree. You know, all the life is being sucked from it. It looks like it's in winter. There's no leaves. There's no rejuvenation. There's no love. There's no care. There's no life. And that's reflected in Marcus. You know, here he seems very, very... Marcus is just lonely, I think, in the portion of in the games. Is, you know, he never really was properly loved by his dad. He, you know, in a bit of a thingy relationship with his dad. His mum died early on. How old was he when his mum died when she discovered the locust? I think he was only a kid. He was only like anywhere from like 5 to 10. He was only a little boy, but I think Marcus's character is reflected here. And symbolically, you know, we're panning down and then we see a bird of prey. This could be symbolic of Marcus. Obviously, Marcus is one of the best cog gears ever in the universe. He's a war hero, but, you know, eagles fly alone, right? The guys at the top are lonely. Marcus is fucking lonely. This could be, you know, symbolic of him. Anyway, panning down, we see Marcus. What's going on here? He's in the middle ground, you know, just framed on the rule of thirds a little bit. If you don't know what the rule of thirds are, it's basically imagine the screen split into a grid of 6. So line here, line here, line here, and line here. Marcus is in the bottom quadrant of the rule of thirds. Nice cinematic composition. Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's nothing really going on. It's kind of backlit a little bit by the sun. And then, yeah, just look. Cloudy as well, representing how he feels in the battle ahead. Obviously, Hollow Storm. Yeah, really, really nice shot. And it really encapsulates that feeling, you know, him just slumped up against the tree. And then the tree, of course, like I said, you know, tree is desolate, doesn't have anything going on. Then we have a closer up. Nice framing here, using the grass. Even the grass is dead, you know, the grass is dead. It looks like, you know, wheat or something. It's dead. It's got no life. It's very desaturated. It's not, you know, it's not really. If you think about summertime, right? You think of like really green stuff. You know, plants blooming. You know, lambs being born. A lot of, you know, young babies being born. This is the opposite. You know, this has no life to it. This is no green. This is very desaturated, and you know, dead grass basically. And then we of course we have a low angle shot looking up at Marcus, but this isn't really a shot of him having the power. This is more of on his level. So when I talk about sometimes high angles or low angles, when you have a high angle looking down at a character, they haven't got the power, but if you're looking up at a character, they've got the power. But there's a bit of a slight twist to that rule where, you know, we're looking up at Marcus, you know, we're not eye level with him, we're kind of looking up a little bit, but that doesn't, I mean, of course he's got the power a little bit, but that's not the main message here. The main message is right near the ground, and the building blocks before this, obviously the tree, the grass, the bird of prey. This guy's lonely. You know, he's at rock bottom, right? He goes through a lot in this game. He's not enjoying himself. And obviously the non-diegetic music behind that, beautiful. And of course we have a medium close up here, probably cutting off his chest. And we just look at him. He's that isn't a man that, you know, is ready to go fucking chainsaw some locusts, like giving up hope. Look at him, just looking up. Yeah, he goes through a lot in this game. And of course, I always talk about the catchment in the eyes. You know, they're doing this 17 years ago. Little bits in the eyes, little reflections of thingies in the eyes to draw your attention here. You know, it's a little subtle thing here, but it draws your eyes here. And of course, the eyes are the most important part of a character. Beautiful here. So we have a full focus pull. There we go. Got there in the end. To a Poppy. I don't really know if Poppy. I don't think Poppies play a part in Gears of War 2. But you know what the Poppies represent. You know, like Remembrance Day, remembering it. Poppies are always associated with war. You know, World War 2, World War 1. Especially in Britain, remember you've got to wear the poppies. You know, this could be a symbolic thing of. I think. Is it American? Would Cliffy be in America? Like Epic Games in America when they made this, or Vancouver. They were in America. They weren't in England, so it doesn't have that English representation. Although I don't know if Americans have that, you know, the World War II poppy thing, Remembrance Day, as we do. But you know, even then, you know, poppies, you know, they're really popular. You know, they've got red, they've got life. And then look, it's stark contrast. Look, this poppy is in full bloom. You know, really, really bright. And then look right next to it, these two other plants right next to it are dead. They're fucking grey and black. They're dead. This could be, you know, maybe a message of hope, symbol of hope. Maybe Marcus, all of his dead comrades next to him. Carmine, Ty, Maria maybe, you know. And then here we have a really nice close-up shot of Cole, so it looks like. So here, this was shot on. Of course, you got, I think, pick that up. You've got the vignette things to show the scope as well. A little bit of a vignette going on here. And of course, that was shot on a wide angle, not a wide angle, a telephoto zoom lens. So you get that really tight look with a 200mm, for example. That works because we're looking through a scope here, really, really tight. And of course, next shot is, you know, the long shot, and you know, Cole lying down, looking through the scope, and he's taken aback a little bit. You know, he feels a little bit sorry for for the flower. Yeah. Not much to say about this frame, but yeah, it's just showing the characters and showing where they're at in this story, basically. And of course, the last day, it's in the title, isn't it? And of course, we have a slow pushing on all of these as well. We're slowly pushing in on all of these characters, showing their emotion. Slowly, just slow push. You know, we're slowly moving in. Slowly moving in on Dom. Of course, Dom is basically the main character of this second game. It's all about him, in my opinion, with Maria. And of course, he's even more slumped over than Marcus. You know, he's even further in the pits of hell. He can't find his wife. And yeah, you know, he's again not really what I was talking about in terms of, like, you know, when I went over The Witcher. Same thing with Marcus, when in the E-Day trailer, when he falls through to the emergency hole and he's holding onto the pipe. He's very, very small, but same thing still applies here. Even though it's not, you know, it's not like dangerous like in The Witcher 4 when Ciri's going into the cave, the monster's cave, dangerous layer, falling into the emergence hole, dangerous, you know, layer of the locust. He's small against the assault derrick. So maybe he feels used by the cog, not, you know, not helping him find his wife or something. There's little things, you know. He's small in this frame. Of course, the derrick is massive, but he's just slumped over next to it. Bit of a long shot, longish full body shot. But the main thing is we're pushing in. We're taking in the frames and the emotion. Of course, we know what he's looking at. Dominique and Maria. Actually, what you could see here actually is he's a little bit. They've reduced the exposure on him a little bit and increased the highlights and the exposure on Maria. They want our attention on her. They don't really want our attention on Dom. Obviously, our eyes are automatically drawn here, but then they will drift over here to see Dom. But the attention is on Maria. That's the little things like this, blowing up the image a little bit of where you want your audience eyes to go. They want our eyes to go here. They've increased the highlights of me, because like this cheek here is overexposed. It's too bright, but it works because they're drawing our eyes here. And then we have a bird's eye view looking down, pulling out of him, seeing, you know, the raven or king raven coming over him. He's looking up. He's pulling out of it. You know, this could be maybe a foreshadowing. Spoilers. Go ahead, 5 seconds. This could be foreshadowing his death. You know, he's looked at Maria, and now he's pulling out, like the spirit is leaving his body. And then look at that face, man. That isn't a face of, you know, hope. And then we cut back to Marcus. You know, he's up again. He's standing up now, but we're still at the ground. We're still at the ground, looking up at him. He's still at rock bottom, man. Of course, you know the assault's beginning now, isn't it? And then here we have a beautiful, maybe I don't know, that's not really an orbit shot. What is that? It's like a core of an orbit shot. So we kind of just follow him and turn around. See, you know, he's, again, Marcus is tiny in this frame. Look at him, he's tiny. He's a little cog in a big war machine, isn't he? Then we see these big assault derricks. You know, we're giving more context now to what's going on. I don't know why they didn't include Baird in this little montage. So we got Marcus, we got Cole, we got Dom. Where's Baird? I would have included Baird a little bit, you know. Of course, we see Baird in this next shot here. Beautiful here. So, of course, if you know the lore, Carlos and Dom, the two brothers, were Marcus. They were basically his family, because Marcus didn't really have any family growing up. You know, his dad was always focused on his work and kind of kept him at arm's length, and he was always with Carlos and Dom, the Santiago family. And of course, you know, he's always been the rock for Marcus, and of course he's pulling him up, backlit by the sun, and of course the boys looking out onto, you know, the, I guess, land down maybe, I don't know where they are. And of course we've got Baird here. Yeah, really powerful shot. And this is one thing they alluded to in Gears of War E-Day. Beautiful throwback. That trailer was, I want another trailer of E-Day, man. Fucking beautiful. Blur Studio is amazing. And then we have a, does it speed up here? And then we just have a panning shot. It's panning it. We have a panning shot. I can't even get the basics right. We have a panning shot of, you know, things are starting to pick up now, right? So listen to the music track. Oh! So things are picking up now. The diegetic music is picking up. The music's picking up and the visuals are picking up now. So look, up until this point, you know, they've slow movements with the cameras just being slow, slowly following him, slowly walking. But now, the music's picking up. Of course, you know, there's action's happening. We're drilling down to go chainsaw some locust scum. We're taking the fight to them. You know, so things are happening. The visuals are matching the music and speeding it up. And of course, the camera is now panning quicker. It's not quick, but it's quicker, you know, of what it was. Beautiful transition. Really nice transition here into Marcus, and you know, got a frame within a frame here. Basic editing technique, compositional technique, showing Marcus, you know, he's trapped. He's, yeah, this could be symbolic maybe of his time in the slab. You know, when you open the thingy door to give a prisoner the food, you know, this like maybe it could be, you know, his showing his past when he was in the slab. You know, that he's in a prison cell. And we're the guards looking out at him. And of course, look, Dom, again, same thing with the Maria picture. They've highlighted and brought up Marcus, even included his accent right here. But Dom, you know, he's in the darkness. He's fully depressed, but Marcus has still a little bit of hope. Obviously, Marcus is the, you know, the leader of Delta. So, and then we follow it down, really nice. Into the smoke, nice transition. Then we pull out, you know, we here we've got the handheld shots. You know, so they're drilling down. We feel that because the shaking that they would have shook it in production. They wouldn't have done it in post. Post means editing. They would have actually shook the camera. And of course we are closer up of Dom's face. He's gone from hopelessness to determined. Look at. Of course, you know, it only goes up to, what, 720p? 17 years old. But we can still see the determination on him. You know, look at him. Same thing with Marcus here. Look at him. Grizzly Marcus. Beautiful shot. I'm guessing these may be locusts. They look like, yeah, they look like locust thingies, don't they? They're getting in position, right? Not giving too much away. Giving us, you know, we're telling a story, but we're not giving too much away. This is one thing like the Gears 5 trailer did too bad. Did horribly wrong. They included all of the fucking story, the big points in the story in the trailer. So when you went to play the game, the entire thing was fucking spoiled. It's like, oh yeah, I've already seen that in the trailer. There was no wow factors, but here, this is a good trailer because it's showing you what's happening, but it's not telling you to. It's just giving you a little bit of a breadcrumb, a little bit of a thing. Like a one trailer that was released back in December, the Forest and Sons of the Forest. They're now making the third Forest. One thing they did really bad in the second game was they gave too much away. But now, when the Forest, they released that, you know, we're like an alien planet now. They've piqued everybody's interest, but they've kept it. You know, they've given context of where we are. We're in the Hollows. But they haven't given too much away. Of course, Locust, and now the boys have got, you know, they've got the guns ready to rock and roll. Only one light here. Of course, you got the accent lights on the guns and whatever, but only one light here, and that's the maybe the emergency, the light on the grind lift, and of course, flashing. Oh, and then a beautiful transition into Gears of War. Fucking hell, that were beautiful, man. That were beautiful. And of course, that was a bit of a shorter one. I don't know how long I've been recording for, maybe 20, 30 minutes. That was a bit of a shorter one, bit of a shorter breakdown, but it fucking works. I might go, let me know what you want to do. I'm definitely, the next one I'm going to record is still going to be a Gears of War one because I'm obsessed with Gears of War at the moment. Let me know if you want me to do the first one or number 3. Let me know which one you want me to do. But rounding this video out, it gets an absolute cinema rating from me. Absolutely beautiful. So yeah, guys, hope you like this one. A little bit of a short one, but fucking beautiful cinema. Let me know if you know which one, first one or third one, or if you want me to do a cover another one later down the road. Let me know and I will cover it. Don't forget, June 7th, I'm going to be live streaming the Xbox June Showcase. So mark your calendars, turn on the bell for notifications, and yeah, can't wait for Gears of War. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.